Alright, so I have the hub here on top of the rear rotor, and I've gone ahead and tapped in the outer bearing race. And you could say, how do you know that it's fully in? Well, if I activate my flashlight, go take a look, you can actually see, I can actually see that it's seated right along exactly where that old race was. So now you know that it's in, it's butted up right against it. So it's actually really easy to drive in with the appropriate tool. So you can also do this with a punch, the same one that I took off, actually a little bit smaller. But I prefer to use this. This is part of a kit from Harbor Freight. The kit itself, it was on sale, so it was $29 from Harbor Freight. And they sell a $19 version that's made of plastic that you cannot use to drive in the bearing races. But I really like this tool. So essentially, it's aluminum handle, aluminum discs. You flip the disc based on whether you're installing a bearing race or a seal. So the flat side would be the seal, the tapered side would be the bearing race. Now I'm gonna set up my camera and you can see me drive the bearing race in. Let's see. I'm going to disable the flash. Okay. Alright, I might have you looking into the sun or my leg. It's not the best angle. Maybe I should get an iPhone tripod. Alright, so clean off the inside. Take a look at it. It seems pretty smooth. Nice and smooth all the way around. So the inner bearing is actually much larger than the outer bearing, so there's no getting those confused. And again, you're going to be driving it so that it fits in the tool. So you're going to choose the right tool for the job. And it's going to start the bearing race. It's too big to actually fit inside the hub. So I'm going to use this fitting to start it, and then I'm going to switch to a smaller one to finish the job. So you put it on, and using a claw hammer, you just hammer it in, and it goes nice and straight. Very nice tool. Very effective tool. There's no need to dig around with screwdrivers or punches or anything. You buy the tool once, and it gets the job done fast and correct, which is the best part. Okay. So this is a little bit smaller. Same principle. You can hear the noise change, so I must have butted up against the metal and seated the bearing race. I can tell that it is seated. I'm going to give it a few whacks just to make sure. Okay. Alright, nice and smooth. Now if you take a look, you can actually see both new races are in the hub, both inner and outer, and now I can go ahead and finish up the install. So that's going to be putting in this seal. So in this cavity I'm going to make a dam. In this cavity I'm going to make a dam of grease. Then I'm going to drop in the bearing, which is going to be greased up using the bearing greaser tool that I have that I'll show you. And then I'm going to put the seal on top, and I'm going to go flush with the hub body, not all the way in, so there needs to be a space. And once I have that, I'm going to mount the new rotor, the new tone ring onto the rotor, and then I can put this back onto the car, grease up the outer bearing, grease up the spline and the hub, whatever the hub rests on, and then finish up the job, and I should be able to be finished in a few hours.